Hello and welcome to Shell Point Today for Thursday, March the 24th. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi. On today's show, we pay a visit to the Island Salon and Spa, where Robyn Church will show us some monthly specials, and Rita Southern and Janine Hammond will discuss exploring your options in assisted living.
But first, don't forget to take advantage of the dining options available for this weekend. The Palm Grill will be open from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. on Easter Sunday. You can enjoy brunch at the Crystal Room from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. or go for a lighter fare at the Island Cafe from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. For the details on all of these Easter dining options, consult this month's issue of Shell Point Life.
Also, don't forget about this weekend's exciting hockey game outing to Germain Arena in Estero on Saturday. Join Bev Chanley as the Everblades hockey team play the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. The cost of the outing is $25 with snacks on your own, and court pickups begin at 5:30 p.m. You can sign up at either service desk.
You can stop by the Resident Activity Center to check out the winners of all the beautiful photography on display from the photo contest and show. You have until April 1st to view until your heart's content.
Salon and Spa Manager Robyn Church is standing by to show you this month's promotion on Matrix Oil products, as well as the spiffy new barber's chair. So men, there's no excuse not to be walking around Shell Point sporting a clean cut and a shave.
Hi, my name is Robyn and I'm the Salon and Spa Manager, and I'm here in the Island Salon. And I just wanted to introduce you to Matrix new line. This is the Miracle Oil with Volume Rose is what it's called. And it's made with natural rosehip oil. It's an extra volumizing line, so it's great for fine or thinner hair. And it also adds a nice shine and a healthy bounce. One great tip, it was written up in a popular women's magazine just recently. And you can add just a drop of the oil to the mousse, and that'll give you some additional shine and volume in the hair. So it has a wonderful fragrance. It actually kind of smells like roses. So it's 10% off this month. Just stop by the Island Salon and we'd be happy to help you. And I just wanted to share with you our newest addition, which is our authentic barber chair. A lot of our gentlemen are really enjoying the comfort of this chair. It has a lot of added cushion, it's a little wider, it's just a bigger, more masculine chair. So if you'd like to come and enjoy a wonderful haircut in our new barber chair, please give us a call at 489-8400 extension 1 for the Island Salon. Thanks and have a great day.
And now Rita Southern is standing by to talk about exploring your options to planning your future as a Shell Point resident. What are your choices and resources? Well, Rita speaks with Janine Hammond today to talk about this important subject and the partnership they have formed with residents when it comes to assisted living.
I'm Rita Southern. I'm the Director of Assisted Living and Resident Support Services here at Shell Point. We're here today to talk a little bit about some of your options as a Shell Point resident to planning your future. When is it time to look at assisted living? What are your choices and what are some of your resources? Today we have Janine Hammond, who is one of those resources.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Janine. It's great to have you. Janine has a unique position here at Shell Point. She works with all of our case managers and with all of our residents living in independent living, as well as helping to facilitate moves throughout our continuum. Tell us a little bit, Janine, about what you and the case managers do with our residents.
A lot of the meetings and appointments that we have with residents, we're talking about exactly what you said, the resources that are available for residents here at Shell Point that might help them in case they have a short-term need for additional support or more of a long-term need, helping them to plan and devise a plan for what will help them now and in the future.
We talk a lot about the partnership that we have with residents. as they look at assisted living, and they know when they'll be looking at assisted living. They know their body, they know their health, and we ask residents to plan 2 years down the road for when they think they're going to need assisted living. But life happens and plays out in those 2 years, and oftentimes unexpected occurrences come up. You and the case managers have a variety of resources that residents routinely tap into. Tell us about some of those resources that help our residents perhaps look at staying in their apartments and aging in their apartments a little bit easier.
Sure. We have a lot of residents that will call. They've been under the weather. Perhaps they were in the hospital briefly, and they've gone directly back home. Maybe they have new medications that they weren't taking before, and they did fine managing 2 or 3 medications that they took for years. Now the doctor has thrown in a few extra medications and changed the doses and the timing. A pharmacy-filled pill box can be quite helpful to help people manage those medications. There's also Meals on Wheels, which can provide a great level of support for people that aren't able to get out and do the grocery shopping, or maybe just the meal preparation and the cleanup is an extra task that's a little bit more difficult for them to do.
I call that energy management. As you age, you have a rather finite amount of energy, and you have choices. How do you want to use that energy? Do you want to use it doing the shopping and going to Publix and battling the traffic right now, or do you want to use it on some of the things that are more important in your life? And some of the resources that you have to offer can help folks lead a more gratifying life and a more enriching life, and your resources can help with that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Talk a little bit about home health and the role that might play.
Sure, home health is a great option for the residents to choose for needs that aren't necessarily medical, but more personal care or customized care. So you can hire home care to come in and grocery shop, do meal preparation. Perhaps you just want some companionship, someone to be there with you. They can also provide assistance with hands-on care. If you need help with bathing, dressing, grooming, they can step in and help with those things. You can have a minimum of 2 hours a day or 2 hours each time they come out, up to 24 hours a day.
And you're talking about what we would call private duty or privately paid for home care.
Correct.
There is Medicare covered home care. Talk a little bit about when somebody would be using Medicare covered home care.
Sure. There's also the Medicare covered home care that folks might use if they've come home from the hospital, recently been discharged from the pavilion. It's covered by Medicare because they're providing a skilled service. So either a nurse to perhaps do wound care, or if someone's newly diabetic and they're teaching them how to monitor their diabetes and care for that. It might also be physical therapy, occupational therapy. So they're doing providing a skilled service, but again, allowing someone to go home sooner than they may have been able to without that service.
Okay, and there are a number of Medicare qualified home health providers that you work with that you'd be happy to help folks get connected to if they aren't already connected?
Absolutely. And you do need a prescription from your doctor to have Medicare covered home care, but we can certainly help to facilitate getting that set up.
Okay. And how would somebody go about getting private duty?
Well, we have a Shell Point Home Care here, so we do have that private home care that you can hire someone to come in. There are also a variety of other home care providers in the area. You're welcome to choose whomever you'd like to use, but it is nice that we have the providers right here.
And they work within our system. Our home care staff knows our Shell Point staff, and they're so well coordinated within our Shell Point family of providers. Absolutely. It's a great coordinated service.
Certainly makes coordinating care much easier when someone's using a Shell Point service.
When we talk a bit about bridging the gap, you used an illustration that I thought was really helpful. Talk a little bit about that illustration.
Sure. We talk a lot with residents about a very common question is, how do I know when it's time to move to assisted living? And the answer to that question is going to be different for everyone because of their circumstances, because of how comfortable they are with bringing support into their home, or how quickly they might want to move. So it's not a fine line between independent living and assisted living. A lot of times there's a little bit of a gap in there. There's some space, and so there's a lot of services you can use to bridge that gap. Being home care, being a primary one of those services that people use, or Meals on Wheels, or a pill box, depending on what you're needing extra support with.
All of these services that we've talked about is a menu of, comprise a menu of those services. So our Shell Point residents can pick and choose and really come together with a plan that can help them extend the time that they can remain in their independent apartment, or shorten the time. It just depends on their choices and their preferences.
Absolutely.
And the case managers do a fine job of helping them navigate that opportunity.
Absolutely.
I would just encourage you, if you haven't had a chance to meet with your case manager, you don't know who your case manager is. They're available here at Shell Point. Each one of your courts has a case manager assigned to it, and they'll be more than happy to come out and meet with you individually in the comfort of your own home. And they are your guide through this maze of services, and they're a great resource for you. So we wish you good health. And if you have any questions, whether it's related to when should you look at assisted living and when is the right time, or whether you need to access one of these services, reach out and get a hold of your case manager. They'll be happy to come and help contact with you.
And now it's time to take a look at today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Welcome to the Happenings segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley, and I'm here with
Caitlin Van Scoy.
And we're going to tell you the activities for you here today at Shell Point. We have an early bird class, Health Connections class at 7:15, Bend, Breathe, and Balance. That'll be held in the Tarpon Room on the island. 8 o'clock's the time the Men's Golf Association will be down at the golf course. Also at 8 o'clock we have round robin doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. Current events group will be meeting in the game room of the Woodlands at 9:30. And the ladies take the courts at 9:30. They'll have their match play at that time. At 9:30, the Paddlers Club will be at the kayak storage for their weekly outing. We have Introduction to Line Dancing in the Tarpon Room at 9:45. At 10:15, we have Basic Line Dancing in the Tarpon Room. Now, at 11 o'clock, we head out to the Boston Red Sox game. They're playing the New York Mets today. The bus picks up at the island beginning at 11 o'clock. 11:10 for the Woodlands, and 11:20 for Eagles Preserve in the estuary. Our Susie Q boat goes to Rum Runners or Fathoms today at 11 o'clock. And that is our morning lineup. Continuing with the afternoon, here's Caitlin.
Thank you, Bev. We start with Mahjong at 12:45 in the Library Lounge, followed by the Aviation Club in the Osprey Room at 1:15. Also at 1:15, Fun and Fitness will be in the Community Room of King's Crown. And Samba the Card Game will be at the Resident Activity Center at 1:15. Another 1:15 activity is a Health Connections class, How Do I Know If I Need a Hearing Aid? That is in the Social Center, and you do need to sign up for that. Shuffleboard will be available at 1:15 at the Shuffleboard courts. And we move to 2 o'clock for the Stamp Ministry. That'll be down in the Stamp Room. We have a Springtime Tea and Tour in the Dining Room of the Springs at 2:30. And at 4 o'clock, the seamstress will be here for her weekly service in the Osprey Room. Followed by Alcoholics Anonymous at 4:30. They'll be meeting in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. We have a performance by David Pedraza. He's a violist. That'll start at 6:30, and that's in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. Also at 6:30, Pinochle will be in the Library Lounge on the island. And we round out Thursday with 7 o'clock Trailblazers Bible Study in the Game Room of the Woodlands. Well, we're so happy to see you here today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Colath with your Academy information for Thursday. At 1 o'clock, Painting with a Palette Knife continues in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. At 1:30, an iPhone Basic Apps class on Safari app. will begin in the Cove at the Estuary. Tomorrow, we offer one more opportunity this semester to bring your questions and your devices to the Apple iPad, iPhone, Mac walk-in clinic, offered by knowledgeable and generous residents.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is braised pork with roasted vegetable hash and purple potatoes. The dinner special is the Crystal Carving Board for $15.95. The soup of the day is minestrone. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a smoked sausage with peppers and onions and chips for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are New York strip with horseradish hollandaise for $19.95 or sole meunier for $16.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm Andy Hawkins, the senior pastor of the Village Church, and I'm here with Randy Woods, who's our minister of worship and music. And we're here to talk about one of our most special services of the year, and it happens during Holy Week, and it's our Good Friday service.
Tomorrow's service, yes, here at the Village Church.
Takes place at 10:15 a.m. And it's really special for a number of reasons. Obviously, Good Friday, as we remember the significance of the death of Christ, is always one of the highlights of the year, maybe second only to the Resurrection Day, Easter, but it certainly is a significant issue because the death of Christ accomplishes so much for us. And we'll be exploring that in a number of different ways, not only in terms of speaking, but also in terms of the music and especially the experience of people as they attend the Good Friday service. And so tell us a little bit about what people can expect to experience as they come to that Good Friday service.
Well, as we come into the sanctuary, it'll be obvious that things have changed. We're going to reconfigure the chairs, and there'll be a display of a very large cross that's about 24 feet high, and I think it's 16 feet wide. And we stand around that cross as we share in communion. We sit facing each other in a circle around the cross as we sing the hymns that remind us of God's great love for us as displayed on this cross of Calvary. And a candlelight service, some beautiful pictures on the screens, just to help us reflect and contemplate this wonderful demonstration of God's wondrous love for us. And that will be one of the songs your favorite soprano, your wife,
Indeed.
will be singing.
That's
on
exactly right.
Tomorrow morning in that service. Beautiful voice, and Gene Hawkins will be singing What Wondrous Love Is This, as well as a contemporary song that says Embrace the Cross. And so with the congregation singing the hymns such as Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross or the Old Rugged Cross, it's a very special time of worship on this Good Friday.
Absolutely. So actually, it'll be almost impossible for people not to embrace the cross, because as they come in, they'll see the configuration of it, but also as we share in communion, they'll actually come to the cross.
We actually participate you're right, walking right and standing at the cross.
Standing at the cross and then receiving the communion elements as we stand there. And so that almost, it's really neat to see worship being such a sort of a multi-factor kind of experience. Not only is it an auditory experience, we hear things, but it's also a participatory experience. We sing, but also we actually taste and experience the communion fellowship together. There's so many dimensions of what this service means, and that's why I treasure it so much. And I think our people do as well. They'll come and they'll recognize that they will come and not be the same because they have experienced something of the death of Christ and remembering what He's done for us.
You're right.
And of course, I'll have a message about that. We'll explore what the cross of Christ accomplishes for us, what He did as He went through His passion and then experienced what actually took place on the cross and what benefits that provides for us who believe in Him. And especially as it looks forward to, of course, the resurrection 3 days later. And we'll certainly be celebrating that, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow, actually, in our television program.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I trust folks will come and join us. It has been a service that's very well attended. You may want to come a little early. The service tomorrow for Good Friday starts at 10:15. It'll be a service in the dark, candlelight, And I know it's going to be a special time of remembrance as we focus on God's love here on Good Friday.
Great. Well, thanks for joining me, Pastor Woods, and we hope that you'll join us tomorrow, 10:15 a.m., as we experience the Lord's Supper around the cross on our Good Friday worship service.
Thanks for joining us today. Tune in tomorrow when we will take a stroll to the garden plots on the island to try and solve the mystery of disappearing and reappearing rabbits. And we'll recap the top stories from this week. Until then, this has been Shell Point Today for Thursday, March 24th. I'm Rich Nation.
And I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi, thanking you for joining us and wishing you the best of the rest of your day. We'll see you again tomorrow.